Sit down. I'm going to say something that should not fit in a YouTube video. We found it. We found consciousness, not the horoscope, not the vibes, the actual mechanism. And the punchline is, it's been photobombing human history for thousands of years, hiding inside every myth, religion, and self-help book you've ever seen. In episode 1, we said, intelligence is not IQ. Intelligence is how well you move toward what nourishes you and away from what poisons you. That was level 1. Tonight, we install the expansion pack. Time, evolution, and the uncomfortable truth that the fight over now versus later is what it feels like to be you. You're not going to like it. Start here. You don't make choices. You break ties. Every decision is secretly a custody battle between right now you, future you. Right now you wants comfort, dopamine, distraction to not feel this feeling. Future you wants health, respect, freedom, a story that doesn't make you cringe. So it's never just pizza or salad, reply or ignore, stay or leave. It's always, do I protect this moment or do I protect the entire arc? The part of you that only cares about time, Dory, 0, that's Goblin. Goblin is your immediate reward regulator. Job description: maximize relief in the next unit of time with 0 regard for consequences. Ice cream now, scroll now, buy now, rage comment now, sleep with them now. Future me will figure it out. Goblin's favorite prayer. On the other side is the part playing time, infinity. That's Gary. Gary is your long-term reward regulator. Gary keeps track of blood work, rent, reputation, kids you might have, and the version of you that has to live with all this. Goblin says, we ball. Gary says, we budget. Goblin wants the hit. Gary wants the story. And here's the rude part. You are not Goblin. You are not Gary. You are the pressure between them. Hold that thought. 2. Evolution built these two monsters. On purpose, quick evolutionary detour, because this is not just a humans are messy thing. In episode 1 we said, life starts as move toward what keeps you alive, away from what kills you. A bacteria doesn't think. It sniffs chemicals and moves. More food chemicals, go toward. More toxin chemicals, go away. That's proto-goblin. Pure immediate reward. No future, no story, just right now, not dead. As nervous systems got more complex, evolution added a new trick: memory and prediction. Now you can endure discomfort now for a bigger payoff later. That's the birth of Gary. A squirrel burying nuts for winter. Goblin wants to eat them. Gary says, cold is coming. A wolf holding position in the pack instead of biting the alpha. Goblin wants status now. Gary says, if you lose, you die. Wait. Every species you love watching on YouTube is running some version of this. Goblin down short horizon survival and pleasure. Gary, longer horizon survival and strategy. The rule of thumb. The farther into the future a creature can simulate, the stronger its Gary, and the more intense the tension with its Goblin. A lizard has Goblin and a tiny Gary. A dog has Goblin and a better Gary. It can wait, kinda. A crow, a dolphin, an elephant. More Gary. Humans. We got the cheat code and the curse. We can simulate retirement, reputation in 10 years, relationships we haven't had, fallout from decisions we haven't made yet. Our Gary horizon is huge, but evolution never turned Goblin off. It amped Goblin too, because impulse and tribe and don't get kicked out right now still kept you alive. So you end up with a maxed out Goblin strapped to a maxed out Gary in a world of infinite stimuli. The stress between those two is what it feels like to be human. That stress has a name: consciousness. This is the actual oh fudge moment. That constant inner commentary, the moral drama, the self-loathing, the should I, shouldn't I, that is not a ghost in your head. That is what it feels like when an animal with a huge goblin and a huge Gary is forced to pick one behavior at a time. Shut off Gary and you get pure goblin. Addiction, impulse, stimulus response, no plot. Shut off goblin and you get sterile optimization. Perfect plan, no felt life, no reasons to care. Consciousness is not a light switch. Consciousness is the scream in the middle when both systems are online and the body demands a single move. The more future you can see, and the more your impulses refuse to wait, the louder that scream gets. Congratulations, that's being self-aware. Now here's the beautiful and annoying part. Ancient people kept bumping into this pattern without the language for regulators and time horizons, so they drew it as gods. 4. The pattern has been cosplaying through history. You've seen this your whole life. You just didn't know it was the same thing. Plato gives you a chariot, one wild, emotional horse, one disciplined, mission-focused horse driver in the middle, trying not to die goblin. Gary, consciousness as the driver. In India, 3 gunas, restless, do something now. Energy, heavy, avoid everything energy, and a clear, balanced mode. Goblin in overdrive, goblin in shutdown, and the conscious effort to steer. In Kabbalah, one arm of the tree overgives, the other overjudges, and the center, beauty, tries to harmonize both. Immediate kindness versus long-term justice. Conscious heart stuck between. Egypt puts your heart on a scale against a feather of cosmic order. Your impulsive lifetime gets weighed against a principle that doesn't care about your excuses. Different cultures, same geometry, 2 poles, a painful middle, some higher thing that appears when they momentarily line up. They were all staring at Goblin and Gary and the tension between them and arguing about aesthetics. Vibenometry is saying, no, really, this is the underlying hardware. Immediate reward regulator, long-term reward regulator. Consciousness, the pressure between them. So where does Ron live in all this? 5. Ron, the harmonic we're not built to stay in. If Goblin and Gary are the systems and consciousness is the tension, Ron is the rare moments when the tension falls into a pattern. Think of Goblin and Gary as 2 sound waves. Goblin, loud, fast, jittery. Gary, slow, deep, steady. Most of the time, they clash. You feel noise. Why did I do that again? I said I'd stop. I want this and I don't want this. That's destructive interference. But sometimes, at the gym, in a deep conversation, building something, doing hard but right work, you hit a move that feels right now, makes sense later, fits the story you want your life to tell. Everything clicks for a moment. That click, that this is me feeling, that's Ron. Ron is the harmonic resonance your Goblin Gary system would settle into if your biology could hold perfect alignment. But it can't. Evolution optimized you to survive, not to live in permanent coherence. So you only ever get snapshots, little frames of Ron inside a film of noise. And you only see those frames if you're honest enough to look at what you actually are. A goblin, a Gary, a conscious tension between them, and a nervous system that occasionally stumbles into harmony. Ron is the preview of a mode we don't have the hardware to stay in, but we can aim at it more often. That's the whole point. So, why does any of this matter when you still have bills, texts, and a half-finished to-do list? Because 2025 is basically a Goblin amplification device. Every major system you touch is optimized for immediate reward. Autoplay, one-click, same-day, infinite scroll, micro-hits, of validation and outrage. The economy learned how to talk straight to your goblin and let future you hold the bag. Your Gary, not profitable. Your Ron, completely irrelevant to their KPIs. So if you don't learn to see, that's goblin talking. That's Gary talking. This moment right here is a Ron snapshot. Then, your conscious tension gets rented out to whoever makes the loudest notification sound. Vibenometry is not think positive. It's learning the physics of your own mind so you can stop playing NPC in your own evolution. 7. Where we go next. Let's stitch it. Episode 1. Intelligence. How will you move toward nourishment and away from poison? From atoms to animals to you. Episode 2. This one. Evolution. Built 2 regulators. An immediate reward regulator, Goblin, and a long-term reward regulator, Gary. The tension between them is what you experience as consciousness. The rare moments when they harmonize are Ron. A resonance your biology can't live in permanently, but can re-enter again and again if you face what you actually are. Next episode, we drag this out of the clouds and into your phone use, your money, your dating life, your I swear I'm going to change this time loops, and start drawing. Your goblin vector, your Gary vector, and the Ron pattern you keep almost landing on. Because you're not broken. You're just an evolved animal running 2 competing survival scripts and feeling the tension. Once you see that, you can finally stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking, "What song am I letting these 2 play?" on purpose. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to suggest topics to explore through the Vibenometry framework, leave us a comment.